card was passage. So let's read it. Your passage and journey is opening for you now. Walk through the door and embrace it. So how perfect. How perfect. Nice. Cool. So we've got a few watching live in the container of the Goddess Inner Circle, and we've got Deborah's on here on the Zoom. So let's do it. It is 6:30, love.
I know. For excitement.
Yeah. I'm just going to... Hey, Kay, good to see you. So does your Jupiter want to start this off? And we're talking in gift marking language tonight.
we're talking in tribalness. We do tribal. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I will. So basically the reason why I'm doing this is I've done a few lives, Facebook lives about it, but I honestly thought it was a party trick, and because I used to do them at parties. Like I would meet randoms and then they would ask me something and then I basically would just tell them stuff, and they'd look at me like, what the heck, what's just happened here? But then, when I've been stepping into my gifts, as we've discussed, this is basically me just doing what I'm supposed to do, a part of. So it's not all of it, it's just a part of. And in doing so, what Insights with Patty means is basically just if you need to ask a question or you're feeling stuck or just whatever's going on for you, just basically ask that question and I'll just sort of direct you whatever I've got that comes in. I don't like the word readings and all that kind of stuff, even though I listened to your YouTube video and it said about readings. I don't know. I'm just allergic to that word. It's just not my cup of tea. So that's why I've said Insights with me. Cool. So yeah, I want people to be brave or to have courage to ask, because it's like anything. Whenever you ask for help or basically show courage, that's when you're able to go to the next level, and it's that in itself, it shows you that you're able to do so many more things. So I know people are keen to ask, but it's just the first one of putting their hand up. Did you want to say anything, Lou?
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to say, first thing, Michelle's gone, Oracle Patty. First thing is, awesome. Well done, you, for just stepping into this. And I think it's just something we were talking about your 14 gift markings, and gift markings are in the hands. And that's kind of where we had that conversation, using them as part of your purpose. And just a little bit of background, if you're not using them, it kind of feels a bit like hard work or a really good kick up the bum. And it's quite shocking when you do have 14, as you probably know, Patty. It's like, I mean, I've got like 8, 9 and they come and go, but it's having that relationship with it. And so we just said, it came up, how are you going to use these? And it's like, I know what, can you just do that thing that you do? And for those, Patty, she just has this amazing wisdom of, and I've been on the receiving end of that too, as well as you have been on the receiving end of mine, and it's kind of like, oh, what do I think about this? And she's just, something just comes over her. She, the body doesn't shake or there's no smoke or anything. She just gets this insight, and it's kind of, I love it. And I just want other people to experience that. And I think you did a video today and went, you know what, I want to have that kind of sounding board, and you need the questions. And yeah, so I'm excited. I'm just going to back off and put you on the screen. And if anybody has some insight, can you just ask me, tell me what kind of questions do you want to be asked? Or do you want, like some people might say, oh, can you just give me something? Do you need a specific?
No, I can just talk about like basically anything that's going on. So just before we go any further, when you said, you've been on the receiving end. The difference between when I used to do my party trick was I didn't ask permission, because boundaries and me weren't friends. And so there has to be, like for me, there has to be boundaries. The person has to be wanting to hear the message. They've got to be in a space, because if they're not, then they'll just get pissed off with me, or they won't listen to the message, or they won't receive it, or they'll just think I'm full of shit. So, and I never used to ask permission. I just used to go, bleh. I think I've done that with you. I have done it.
Did I ask? Did I ask?
Yeah. You go, oh, shut up. And I'm like, ooh. But lucky that we love each other, so we're all good. So we've got that banter. But
yes.
The reason I'm doing it like this is because it's a safe container. You're stepping up and you've asked the question. And yeah. So, okay. So today I did a video on mind fuckery. And so I can start now, and whatever comes up for someone, then, you know, jump in, chime in, or just listen. Yeah. But what I've found is so I got up early, went and did my beach walk with a friend, and funny, I just kept bumping into all these people that I know. As I said goodbye to one person, I'd go on to the next person. And so, yeah, I didn't get home till about 2:00. But the same theme was running, and it was, you know, the stuff that you keep telling yourself, and I call it mind fuckery. So in the gift markings, you talked about looping, so you can go round and round in a circle, or you do the mind trauma, whatever you want to name it, it's there. But basically what it does is it blocks you, or you can create your own blind spot, or blocks you from the next space where you need to go. And so basically when people ask questions, it'll just, they may be feeling like a glaze over them, or like a darkness, and then they'll ask, and then I'll just have to say something, and they'll go, oh, I didn't even see that. I mean, you and I had this conversation with, what are you going to bring to the Gold Coast? Because you're going to be bringing your awesomeness here. And like we were toing and froing, and the answer was right in front of us. And yeah, it's like pretty basic stuff. And again, people go, are you qualified for this? Do you go out and, you know, how did you know? And I know, for instance, from my culture, we're very connected to the ground. That's why I always say, well, the whenua, like I always say, get grounded, because even Africans, and I know they're very, like, their feet are in the dirt, and that's how you can, if you need to ask your own questions, get grounded. And then basically by putting your feet in the dirt or the sand, or, you know, connecting to nature, you will get the answers just like that, because you're in a space where you're quiet. But because in the lifestyle that we have right now, we're just always crazy busy. We don't take time out for ourselves. We don't stop and listen, you know. Another thing is that gut feeling, when you do something and then you kick yourself later, you go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. I had this thought or this feeling that I shouldn't have done it, but I still did it. And that again is your inner intuition telling you, but you just choose to ignore it. So there's lots of signs, but it's just learning how to read them. And that's why I do what I do, because obviously I know how to read them now. I listen and I stop. Yeah.
You always have. And so just for those who are coming on, there's a few people on the actual Zoom. So if you have a question, or you would like an insight, we're not saying reading tonight. The word reading is out of this container. So if you would like an insight, you can please, for those who are on the Zoom, you can just put your hat. So there's a couple of ways. You can type it into the Q&A or the chat box, and I will get it ready for Patty. Or you can put, if you do want to come on to the screen, if you're that brave, we can put you there too. It's totally up to you. And for those in the Goddess Inner Circle on Facebook, just write your question in there. We can't bring you on here, unfortunately. So I do have a question, if you're kind of ready. And thank you, Michelle, for just putting it out there. And she would like some insight. I just kind of asked, she's drawn to have some insight tonight, Michelle Flynn. And I said, what specifically would she like it about? And she just said, her lights are all breaking at the moment. So light bulbs are going off in the lounge room, and now 2 lamps, and that's the question, and it can be as simple as that. So I'll just let you do that.
Awesome. I'm kind of giggling because it's like, it just makes me smile. And I've had the same conversation this morning when I bumped into a lady. So again, when I was talking about intuition or signs, some people need visibility, or they need things in their home so they can actually take note. And so for you, it's those lights are breaking, and you'll ask, well, but why? And so I call it a soul slap. And so you can receive it however you want, but I use, that's the language I use. So basically you're getting a slap around the ears, New Zealand slang, to wake the hell up. So you're basically ignoring something in your life, and I'm getting it as a relationship, whether it be with your partner or children, and like you're ignoring something, head in the sand, and like just becoming oblivious to it. And it's like, well, the biggest thing I think with, well, I don't think I know, the reason why we ignore it, because on the other side it's just too scary. So we just think, oh, well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Lou, I always ask too many questions with Lou, and she was like, oh, shush, oh, shush. So that's her reaction. So I'm asking you, what is your reaction to stuff that's coming full grown in your face? Like, what are you ignoring? And lights can also, you can turn your spark off, or you turn your lights off, or your chi, or, you know, whatever your inner glow is. And it's like, well, why are you switching yourself off? Don't you want to shine? And I've always been told to stop hiding. So it's like, you know, come on, stop hiding, step up, you know, have courage. I totally get it. It's scary as fuck to have courage, but have that conversation. And so for me, for a conversation would be, when it is scary, is take my emotions out of it. Don't worry about the outcome. And I've always preach about like being raw and real. So, you know, owning, you've got the talking stick, and owning how you're feeling right now, and sharing that with the person, not making them wrong, but just how you're feeling right now. And you'll be able to stop that, the light sort of switching off and on, and also to avoid rage, because sometimes when you switch a light off, it can bring up on other parts of your life where you just like rage. And I love it when really lovely, soft ladies go, oh, I don't get angry. Meanwhile, inside they have just got rage. So please be careful of that. And yeah, I hope that helps.
Beautiful. Wow. And so Michelle's, there is another question. So Michelle's gone, she has to decide whether to quit or go back to what I love doing from home. I'm assuming that's a job. So Deborah is up next, and Deborah's...
Can we just go back to Michelle?
Yep.
I just got that while it's a job that she wants to go back to, whatever it is, when I said relationship, it's because are you doing it because of your, you know, are you doing it because of your family, or what your partner said, or what your children's, because your obligation to provide. So just be careful of that. You've got to do what you do for you, and no obligations. Don't worry about anyone else. You just got to put yourself first. Okay, next.
Awesome. Okay, so Deborah likes the idea of being told whatever comes up. So no barriers, please. So nothing specifically. Deborah Starr is her full name. Her name.
Okay. Is she an older lady?
I don't know.
I don't know. So I just get kind of, and I just want to like for people that don't know me, I can come across as quite abrupt and just use harsh words. It's just me. So please don't take it to heart. But okay, so with Deborah, I'm getting this huge word of lazy, like translated can be procrastination, but like just being or content with life, content. I always use this as my mother as an example. Oh, I love her crazy. She's just beautiful, but she was just content to go away along with life, you know, in a marriage that didn't serve her. And that's why I use the word content. And lazy in the fact was, come on, you got decisions to make. Again, courage to step up to where you need to go to the next level. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Actually, I know it does help.
I love it. And Deborah said she's 58. So
Also, okay, cool.
So anybody else would like, there's no questions in here at the moment.
Oh, I'm going back to Deborah. Okay, so I've got, sorry, I'm getting like lazy, but not, I think when people like, you know, and when I asked you at the start, is she an older lady, is because, I don't know, we've got this stupid belief that we get to a certain age and life's over for us. I did a live today, and this lady who's written this amazing book, when I talked about mind fuckery, she goes, oh, I'm glad I'm older and I don't have to deal with that stuff. Man, it's there till the day you die. So all I'm getting is, with Deborah, is just because you may be a little bit older doesn't mean your life stops. You don't have to stay content. If you want to tip your life upside down, you go and do that, girl. Like, age has got nothing to do with it. You just got to do you. As we always say, you just do you, boo-boo kitty. Please.
I love it. And Deborah's gone, she's applied for a number of jobs. So there's
whatever makes your heart shine, girl, like sing, you know, if you know, you want to get out of bed to go to that job, it's just whatever makes your heart sing.
So I've got Kim here, and I'm not too sure, Kim, if I said, would you like some insight? She's saying she loves it so far. And so far. Okay. So let me know if you want to have something.
But Kim will tell us when she doesn't.
Yeah, because we need. Okay. So Deborah's going, thank you very much, he said. So
awesome.
Yeah. So there's nothing. Anybody else would like a insight?
Do you, Luanne?
No. Did I ask? Did I ask?
I asked you. Do you want to go?
So, I'm totally fine. You just do you, boo-boo kitty.
Man, do you know what I love? The fact that we tease the shit out of each other. I love it. I love that, man. Keeping it real. I love it.
Awesome. So we've got Maya here. Hi, Maya. I had a look at her hands today. Nai, Sarah, and Troy on the Zoom, and we've got Britta. Hey, Britta, nice to see you. And we've got Kim also somewhere here. She must be on. Oh no, Kim's on the Zoom too. So do not be scared. Do not be scared. Let's just see.
I actually do. I'm gonna, while people are like plucking up courage, I'm gonna share.
I've got one just before you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We need a sign. It's like, that's what we need to know. So Kay Hamilton would like an insight if anything arises. He has no particular question. So just
who's that, sorry?
Pardon?
Yeah, I've just seen another two people that have just said whatever comes up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to challenge the like the peaks out there, because I've done that. Like, just whatever, I'm open, just whatever comes up. And that's awesome, because you're saying you're being open. But I challenge you to get more specific, because when, like we talked about, you know, human design, which I don't know too much about, but I'm a what is it called? A generating manifest generator. Whatever that. So whenever I get clear about what I want, I get it straight away, right? But if I just say, oh, I'm open to wealth, or open this, it's very airy-fairy. But for me personally, when I get specific and then I just don't even think about it, I always get it. So although that's awesome that you're open, specifically I'm saying, like, come on, you got to do the work and you got to get clear about what you want. It's like a relationship. Yeah. Oh, you complain about the man, but it's like, well, do you know what you want?
Can I just add to that too, Miss Boogie?
Yes.
It was kind of like when Michelle did. She said, yeah, I'd like one. And she just said something very simple, like the lights were going off. So it could be
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I get on and I love cars when people do cars, and like I'll have anything that arises. So I guess the intention comes up with this, but I totally get it. So, and Ngāri, she's she again what you want to hear. So is it relationship? Is it business? Is it purpose? Is it, what other topics are there?
I've got it's Nairi, I've got her. Okay, so yeah, kia ora. What I'm getting for you is I sort of have connected with her like earlier before, and I haven't really had a good conversation with you, but I'm like, again, I kind of want to shake the fuck out of you and say that's enough now. And it's like, well, what do you want out of life? And everything I'm saying, I've been there, done it, like been through. So like I totally relate, hence why I can pass on this info. But for you, it's just like, come on, you've got so much goodness, so many skills and gifts that you can utilize, but you're choosing just to stay still, because I guess when you just stay still, it feels more comfortable. It's like I've always been, well, I was scared of heights, and I used to always go to the top just to try and not be scared of heights, and I would look over and then I'd step back. Now it's still up high, but I'd stay back here just to keep safe. But then I would never get over the fear of heights, and I would just stay still. So when we stay still in life, again, we don't get what we want, and it's that stagnant feeling, and it's just bleh. I call it boring as fuck. And so all I'm saying is just like, you know what you want, you just have this fear that you don't think you can get it, or maybe you just don't know how. But that's what I'm saying. If you be more specific, write lists down. Even like for me, when I did my 90 days and my 5-year, my 10-year plan, I had never done that so specifically until I went to your retreat to do it. But once it was done, it felt so good, it felt so perfect, and I've let it go, and I'm on my purpose to do what I'm supposed to do. But if you don't get specific, like asking about what you want, or like your dreams to help people, Nairi, you're just going to stay stuck, and you'll keep telling yourself that you're not in a good place, and you'll keep telling yourself that you've got this darkness. And we all have darkness in us. It's a good thing. It's that yin and yang. We have to have the light and the dark. So just start getting more specific on paper. Okay, cool. That's that one. Are we on to the next one? Okay.
Yes. So she'd like some insights on the direction and moving forward in her business.
Yeah, I'm getting like, I don't know, you don't really like your business. Do you have to do that one specifically, that actual business? Or maybe it's just something that you could do, like it's, for instance, say if it's a protein business, and you'll just sell protein. So it's very just one focus. But if you sort of step back and had a look where else your octopus arms could go out to that you could focus on. But the business that you have right now, I don't know. It's kind of crushing. It's actually feels like it's a little bit soul crushing for me. I don't know. And too many chiefs in the business, is what I'm getting. For instance, like with my stuff, the insight stuff that I'm doing now, it's not my whole business, but it's in line with, I do these shows, which is in line with my business. I do theme, which shows how to be brave and to go out there and deliver the message. So it's all parts of my business. I've got all these octopus arms, but it's all under the one sort of umbrella. And I'm just thinking, okay, where you want to go now, it's a little bit, I don't know, feels a bit, ugh. It's just killing your soul. Yeah. Awesome question, Troy. Head fuckery for me is when you keep slamming yourself. And I did say in my video today that you can make it wrong. So this is how you make it right. So and you keep slamming yourself with so many emotions, feelings, beating yourself up, things you should do, just this go, go, go feeling. But whereas intuition and emotions are a stillness. So you can't, with any emotions or intuition, you actually have to be still to actually understand what's the messages that you have within intuition, or to feel emotions. You have to actually feel them, which means you have to be in a state that you're open, which generally means you have to be still in your mind, not like still like this, but still in your mind so you can feel it. And I know a little bit about you that you are emotional, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing to feel it. But head fuckery is when you make yourself wrong and you don't move forward. Whereas I love feelings. Feelings are beautiful, and emotions and the intuition can be used in a good way. So this is when I talk about the darkness and the light. So with head fuckery, when you're here and you're going all round and round loops, if you stop and be still and listen to your emotions, feel into it, ask yourself what you want, your intuition will naturally give you the answer just like that. So it's the difference of how to sort of like, I always use, because I like playing footy with my kids, is like passing it. So, you go in between the head fuckery, the emotions, and go like that. So we all create head fuckery to avoid. Yeah, sometimes I think, I don't know, like I'm just reading this message. So we create head fuckery to avoid, but blame emotions. Exactly. Yeah, because emotions are awesome. Emotions are powerful because it gets us to get out of our head and to feel it into our heart. So emotions are good. It's when the emotions that, all we do is cry, but we don't take any action. And I find that with head trauma or head fuckery, we can actually see what's going on and we can take it to the next level. It's just knowing how to go between the two. It's like a dance. And so like when you know how to, do that dance between the two, then you're pretty much on fire.
Right. You done with that one? I'll just get, because Kim, cool. Thanks, Troy. And if you want to, I love that, Troy. Kim's asked, is it okay to feel hesitation to finish my creation? I freeze up. It's actually on the answer part, yeah.
Do you know what? I love that question, because as human beings, we all have to seek validation. And I get, well, if you need to personally hesitate, aka just stop and breathe, then be okay with that. It's when it's like used where you won't move forward at all, and you just stay in that hesitation, stay in that stuckness. That's when it doesn't serve you. But to me, I love the word hesitation, because sometimes it just means it's the breath that you need. You can soak it up and take your next step forward. So yeah, that's an easy one. So it's a good thing. Awesome. I just got a message from Marchi. Head, yeah. And I actually hate swearing so much, but that's what it is. It's head fuckery.
Yeah.
Mind fuckery.
And Marchi, do you
it's really weird for you to be so quiet, Lou.
Me? I know, I just want to, I'm like,
yeah.
But it's good. This is so good. So good. Yeah. So did Marchi want some insight on anything in particular? Because she was kind of saying it was very relevant.
Marchi's pretty. I know Marchi. She's beautiful. She does sound baths. You just like with the bowls. Oh, I love her stuff. I haven't seen her for donkeys.
Yeah. And I'm just going in between, so just feel free as soon as I just go like that. Any questions on this side? Beautiful. Not anymore. Okay. Beautiful.
Cool.
Yes.
I don't know if Nairi's still on the call.
Nairi, she is. Yes, she is.
Oh yeah, cool. She just said that. Yeah, okay. For an answer to your question, when we do feel scared, aka mindfuckery, hesitation, what I do is I do role playing, not that kind of role playing in the bedroom, but role playing like you can talk. It's like talking to yourself, or like you can say higher self, or whatever. But when you are feeling scared or hesitant or anything like that, I love to have a conversation with myself. So this is a little bit of a trick that I do. So if I'm feeling like scared to take on a big task that I know in my heart of hearts I know I'm meant to do, I either write it down, so I do the pros and cons, but I just don't like writing, so I have conversations with myself. So I ask myself, what am I scared about? Or you can use a whiteboard. And then I would say, well, I'm maybe scared about what people might think of me. I'm scared because I don't have enough qualifications. Or what was the conversation I had with someone? Oh, I just need to do one more course. I'm scared that people might think I'm a freak. I'm scared. And so you just list everything that you're scared of. And it's like having a conversation with your best friend, because we essentially are our best friend. And then you just sort of go again, doing that dance of that conversation about what is scared to you. Sometimes scared is, we know it's a protection, but sometimes it just gives us that, we basically can hear ourselves being scared, we talk it out, and then we just take one of those points and it gives us, I say, courage or kahunas to go to the next step. So it's being scared is a good thing, because it just makes you mindful about what your fears are, so you can, protect yourself. And so when you keep going, you just have those conversations with yourself. Cool.
Awesome. I love it. So anybody else on here? Because we're going to kind of stick around till another half an hour, 7:30. We're kind of finishing up, but if you would like it, that's such a shy group, really. Oh, actually, yes. And if you have another question and you've been up there and already asked one and something else has popped up, another question, just pop it in there. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm gonna what was today's conversation?
It's such a great day to do there you go.
I know, Lionsgate. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about, until someone pops up their hands, is
you can see the chat from
is making ourselves strong. Oh, what?
So, okay.
Did you do time out?
Yeah, I did. So, Marchie, and I actually had a look at her hands today. So in my head it's Maya, but I'll say Marchie because she's typed it in here. So she has a question for you, Patty. What feels more timely for her, going online with teaching the piano, or combining it with creative stuff like compositions too? So what feels more timely, going online with teaching the piano, or putting
the second one?
The second one.
The second one, because online stuff, like for me, I've been avoiding my online program forever. And I just think that if you concentrate on that, you won't get up there, because, again, something I've done, you just keep avoiding it, making excuses, all these stupid excuses why you can't do it. So I'll just stick with the second one, because that just all comes naturally to you. And then, but when you're doing those compositions, and what was the second? So there's compositions, combining it with, okay. So when you're doing your creative stuff in the compositions, record it though. Just record it, which means it'll be just naturally go on online later. And for you, because you are the creative soul, like you basically create orchestras in your head, or compositions, I should say. And you can play every single instrument. So I just think stick to the easiest stuff, because online, to have an online presence, you really need to know how to master that. And I just think just stick to what you're good at for right now, but just record everything. So and then file it, so that when you're ready to do it online, it's all there for you. Yep. Cool. Awesome. So I'm gonna talk about something that making us wrong to the next question, but what I have conversations about and what people do love about me is I just do it, even though I just do crazy stuff and I don't make myself wrong. And then it's not till after I've done it, I went, oops, maybe I should have done that, or good on you, Patty, for doing that. So that's how I roll. But the conversations I have with lots of people is they make themselves wrong before they even step out to do something. Or in a relationship, they always believe that they're the wrong one. And so they've, again, I said it today on my video, how would I word it? You're in a relationship and it just goes to mush and you're like, oh, well, what's the lesson here? What do I need to learn? Sometimes it is what it is and you don't need to learn anything, but apart from being a bit awakened, will start to be awakened. But in that, what I hear lots of people do is they take on the responsibility that it was all their fault, that they made themselves wrong. And so there's just the list. And so it makes them scared or whatever to take the next step. So stop making yourself wrong and just do the opposite of what you would normally. So today I had this conversation with someone that she was in a relationship and it literally ripped her heart to smithereens. And because she kept telling herself she was wrong, instead of just taking each situation that may have come out in the conversation, that in that instance there, he perhaps shouldn't have done that and she shouldn't have let him. Again, boundaries. So instead of what we do as humans is we put everything in a relationship especially, we put everything in this big basket, especially women, and we just mush it all together, whereas sometimes it just needs to be pulled apart individually. Does that make sense? It does to me. Yeah.
So I've got Robin who's just come on. Hey, Robin. And I'm not sure if you're saying hello, you want an insight, or hello, just saying hello to us in general. So again, for those who are watching, if you want an insight, just
tissue.
put your hand up while she gets a tissue. Yeah, cool. And Rochelle, hey, thank you. Loving what Patty is saying now. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Rochelle, good to see you. And for those who are just coming on, again, if you want an insight, just put your hand up, say yep, and I'll time her out because she gets on a bit of a roll, and have your beautiful message that's coming through. One question I want to ask you, Patty, and we might have, is where, because I know you've got every intuitive marker in the hand, so they're in different categories, and you're just blessed with all of them. 14, but the intuition that you get, do you, because some people just know things, some people feel things, some people get movies, some people see colors, visions, some people hear. What it's really just purely for.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, when I worked with my clients, one-on-one, I used to tell them, because you know how eye contact's so important. I used to warn them that, like, I'm hearing what you're saying, so I literally listen and I soak it in. But I look up, and it's like someone's given me their, like a puzzle. So this is their life, and it's in a puzzle, like a box of puzzle pieces. And they literally give it to me, and they go, here you go. And then I'd talk to them, and then they would just say things, and I'm like, okay, got it. So I just, in my head, I'm like, got it. And it's like that piece of puzzle I'd put there. You know how with puzzles you do like all the sky and all the whatever. And so basically when they're talking, I would just like put puzzles together, and then I would see the connection. So basically, yeah, it's like I connect the dots. I mean, okay, so that he does that, or she does that. That's related to that. Okay, and I look up lots, and then I have to go, oh shit, they're there. I've got to come back to talk to them. So it's just, straight away, I just like this gut punch that I just get, not a punch, but hey, I just get it straight away. Yeah, and it's generally in the middle of their conversation too. It's generally in the middle. They might be telling their story, whatever, and I'm like, okay, got it. So again, I asked for permission to interrupt them, so because I don't need to know anymore. Because one, I don't want them to attach to their story, but it's good to hear all the stuff. But then as soon as I've, heard enough, then I'm like, yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah, and I've heard you say that. I've heard you say, got it. And
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah. It's just this knowing, like, it's just knowing. The thing is, and I do lots of devil advocate as well. So when someone says something, and like when you give someone permission to do it, then they don't want to do it. So I would say to someone, okay, so they might really like this person, or they want to do this thing at work, or they want to take something to the next level, but they're too scared. So then I'll say, I do role play, so we pretend to talk, like, we have a conversation. So basically, once you say it out loud, it's so much easier. But I'll also push them to the limit, and I'll say, and I would challenge them to do something, even though I know within my gut that they shouldn't do it. But because as our brain works, when someone tells us not to do it or to do it, then we'll want to do it, or we don't want to do it. So I'm forever like testing the pushing you to sort of own up to what you need to do or not what to do. So because what we do, we stay safe. So yeah, I do lots of that. So then people can face up to what they need to face up to, and just come across quite abrupt because it breaks state. And I'd ask people random questions. Okay, time out.
Thank you. And it wasn't to go, I should have just said, yeah, got it. Okay. So we've got some people in line here. So first one is Rochelle Judd, and she's just, yes, any insight? She's not too sure what to ask. So, and then I'll go to the next two. Mm-hmm. Just Rochelle.
Weird, not weird. I just got modelling. Who the hell's modelling? I don't know. Weird. I'll just go with it. I don't know if you've got kids, or if you want to do some kind of modelling or putting your face out there. Takes bravery. Sorry, I went off to a distance because I don't know how much to share with. But anyway, if that's something that you want to do, just go for it. If you've perhaps had family members as a child that may have told you stuff and it's landed on you, and what I mean is you've heard something that someone said about you, or you think you've heard that, landed on you, which means you've taken it on. Just have to literally do a James Brown. Wipe the coat off and get rid of that shit, because that's shit. And you just need to do what you want to do, what your heart is singing out to you. But I don't know why I got modelling, but hey, it'd be funny if she's actually a supermodel. But yeah, just do that. Just be brave if you want to put your face out there, or something that you really would love to do. Whether it be your face, your gifts, or a talent that you have, just do it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So some of these people I know, and I'm just going, oh. Anyway, so next is Sarah Suzak, and you have full permission here to say it how it is. And she's saying, when you're helping others, can you apply what you do to yourself? And I'm still finding my way with that.
Totally. That's a freaking awesome question. I think, I don't know why I say I think. Okay, means I know. What we've been taught is that we have had, like, old school, because we're just about getting rid of the stupid belief that to do whatever you want to do on this earth, that you need to be better than everyone. And I've kicked that into the shitter, because that's just bullshit. When you show up, which means when you step up to what you want to do, and you share your vulnerability, you share the rawness with whatever's going on with you, people just love you even more, because you're being true. And so we always teach what we must learn. So I'm a sex and intimacy coach, right? Yeah, I need to teach intimacy because I need to learn it. Man, I can have sex till the cows come home, but intimacy is a whole different kettle of fish, because that's when, for intimacy, it's when your heart's open and you're really receiving, and for me, it was always hard to like, you know, for people to give me gifts and all that. So that was my lesson in this life. And so hence why I need to teach it. And I am so proud of that, and I don't hide from that anymore. So with people, with whatever you're doing, is just share. So share with what's going on with you, and people will relate. They're like, oh my goodness, because they won't think you're this guru that's sitting on the mountaintop. They'll go, you're one of us, so you relate to us. And the difference is that you're just being, you know, honest about that. So yeah, course.
Beautiful. So Karen Field, hey Karen, she needs some guidance on the very first step to take. She's a lot of ideas, but feel frozen to begin.
I'm just getting health. Just concentrate on your health. Again, this is a thing that I've been doing, because when you concentrate on your health, whether it be weight or how we nourish ourselves with food, it gives us clarity. So just for instance, if you've ever had alcohol, and I've had that, and you've drunk, and the next day you're just so cloudy and your whole day's wiped out. That's the same with food. If you're not feeding food that nourishes your body, you can't have clarity about your life. And so for me, I'm getting for you, man, you just need to concentrate on your health, right? Just have some kind of plan of attack is what I'm getting. And even for the next 3 weeks, like 3 weeks is not much, you know, that's how you can sort of, 3 weeks is sort of becomes a ritual. Do that first, and then whiteboard. I love whiteboards. Whiteboard about your ideas and about where you want to go and what you want to do, because once you get it on whiteboard or on paper, it's so much clearer, but your brain needs to be clear to do that first. So juice cleanse. That's me, that's not you. I'm just like juice cleanse.
I don't mind the juice, but yeah, so awesome. Anybody else and who any insights? Oh, I love it. Love it. Okay, I'm not too sure if that.
I can't even read. I don't even know. I'm not even going to bother reading them.
No, I know. I've got it. Maya's just giving us the big happy laugh with tears. So
yeah. But I just think for a group, just for who as a collective.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah. I know. I'm awesome. Just ask me. You've obviously come into this group for a reason. And so I had this little bit of epiphany. I've thought to myself, why when I do my Facebook Lives or when I go everywhere, I tell everyone how awesome I am. It's like, there's a point to this. And I'm like, what is that? Do I need validation, or what is going on with me that I need to tell people that? And because I obviously was like that, and then I was in domestic violence relationships, so my whole was, it wasn't a good time. And then I basically came out to the other end. And the reason I'm like that is because that is me, and I've totally embraced that about me, and I just own it. So as a group, as a collective, I'm feeling in the group, I'm feeling like I know for a fact that everyone knows that they're awesome, but they're telling themselves they're not, because it's not cool to be awesome. It's not cool to own your gifts. It's not, it's just frowned upon to talk about yourself like that. Whatever you've heard, it's bullshit. And so as a collective, you're here for me to tell you that's enough bullshit now. You are awesome. It's time to step up and be the leaders that you need to be, and that you're on this earth to do for the work that you're meant to be doing on this earth. And so just have some courage, have some kahunas if you're a man, and for a woman, for women I should say, is just be open to it. Like I think we can chase it, but I think that when we just stop and just feel into it, it just gives us so much more direction instead of doing that grasping, chasing, desperate shit. So just be brave and have courage, and we just got to do what we've got to do now. You know, it's enough of holding ourselves back.
Beautiful. So Troy's asked, and again, if you want insight or you just want to ask a question about what Patty's been saying, just put it below in the goddess on in a circle or here. So Troy said, if we know all the signs, why do we allow ourselves to still fall victim to ourselves?
Could you read that again, please?
Yeah. If we know all the signs, why do we allow ourselves to still fall victim?
Okay, got it. Okay. Got it. Okay, so I use stories or my stories to teach. So, and then straight up. So for me, I've had 4 kids, and I've only been overweight while I had my kids. So I put on 40 kilos, I think, and I've lost 20 over, I don't know, 10 years. And I've still kept on 20 kilos. So, but I still have confidence and all that's thing, but it's not about the weight, right? I know everything I need to do to be healthy, the food I should eat. I know it all. But just because we know it all, as you says, you know, we know all this, doesn't mean we do it. So there's a difference between knowing all the information that we do, but, you know, taking action. And that's when we've got to really feel into it. Like, well, what is it that we really, really want to do? Like you could be a encyclopedia of all, you know, everything in the world. But if there's no drive, or if you don't know your purpose, you're just going to, you know, stay stagnant. And that's why I love Lou's work, is because, especially with the hands, like the student path, I can't remember which one it is I only read it just the other day, was not knowing my purpose. I don't know which one it was. I read the student path of it, and I was like, oh, I've been telling myself that for friggin' ages. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I've got all these gifts and I have no reason. Mate, I've wanted world peace since the day I was born. Like, hence why I love joy, hence why I love happiness and love to be playful, because when you're at that state, it's just naturally you're at peace. So we're human beings, and I think we forget that because we're human beings, we're actually naturally imperfect, and we forget that. So I don't care if you know everything till the cows come home. Being kind to yourself, it's just life. It is what it is. Okay,
thank you. So, Robin's come on, and she says she has a strong intuition on what's coming for me in life and love. What's in alignment? What's in alignment and been building over the past few years. Yet my reality now is so far from that. It's gone so sideways of late. I'm having trouble trusting my intuition. I keep calling on my courage. I can't read it right. Calling on my courage, but wondering if you can. I want to finish. You can sense a smoother road ahead for me. Got it. Go,
I was having a chuckle, and I'm like, do I say okay? So
you got it when I just went. Robin says, didn't you?
No, and okay. Excuse me if I'm going to offend anyone, but when she spoke, I got, there's this huge train coming at you, and then the next image I saw was a big dick getting slapped in your face.
Wow. She's laughing. Okay.
Anyway, okay, now my ribs sore. Back to you though, that's seriously the images that I got, meaning you keep getting signs, but you keep getting ignored. I would never love the dick slapped in my face because I asked him to do it, or I don't want a train coming at me, and it's like, you're gone sideways because, and you just keep ignoring them. Like, we've heard the thing, you're driving and you go, oh, I need to go left, so you go left. Sometimes you just ignore that and go straight ahead. You don't know why. That's just the basic of intuition. But you're getting signs all the time, but because you have this real, I'm going to say stubborn, about you, you're just like, no, I know better because I've got intuition, and my intuition will tell me, give me lots of warnings. So I'm just going to do this. And that's that driving force that I was talking about just before. Just stop driving. Just be, and just be, and listen and soak up what you need to soak up, and just please stop. Just stop. You're not listening, and that's the reason why you're second guessing yourself, because everything you're doing, all the paths you're taking, you're getting slapped in the face. And it's like, well, are you ready to listen now? Just be a bit more gentle on yourself. I can't believe I'm talking to you and my whole ribs hurt. Like I've got the stitch. Because you're running. You've just been running on empty for God knows how long, woman. Holy shitballs. Yeah, stop that. So to be in a calmer state, is doing something that is quiet or rituals, and projecting your voice. So I like to use, what was that thing that we used at Tantra, that Osho? It's a meditation. It goes for about an hour. We had to do that every morning before breakfast. And it's quiet, and so you're just huddling, you're just, cuddling yourself, and then there's the screaming part, so you're letting out your voice. So from what I'm getting for you, you just need to do that. You need to let out that scream, that guttural wrenching sound, so you can let out that, I'm not going to say anger, just let your voice be heard. And that meditation is, well, it's not meditation, it's basically like just all the sound will get you stirred up so you can start feeling, it's like a reset. Yep.
Love it. So anybody else on here? Because we've got kind of like 5 minutes to go. I mean, I'm pretty guessing everyone's kind of had some who's on here anyway, so lucky you. But again, yeah, if you have something,
I think we can, I'm feeling we can wrap up now.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Sure. Yep.
So have you checked all the calls? Got it? Got it?
I'll just check one more time. Any hands up, any.
We've both got Jupiters. We're both the polar stars. It's like,
I don't want to be the apprentice anymore. Okay, where you go, love. Yeah, so we've got kind of, I think that's it. We've done pretty much everybody.
Awesome.
But you've got a little sharing that you want to share before we all get off here. So I hope you do this again.
Yes, I'm actually doing one next week with
great.
This guy from Canada.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's simple. Just be kind to yourself, and that's for me too. Like I drive myself so much, and to the point of nothingness sometimes, and which means I get nothing done. And that's student. I just don't want to do. I just don't like do that anymore. So I just be kind to myself. If I need to have a rest day, I'll have a rest day, and then I'll wake up the next day ready to go. So be kind to yourself. Stop telling yourself you have to go, 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 or the opposite of doing nothing, nothing, nothing. So yeah, that's all.
So if people want to get hold of you, Patty.
Oh yes.
Yes, and if they want to take this to a more of a private.
Yeah, I have the Insight. Patty Insight thing, it's 45 minutes, it's $88, one of my favorite numbers, $88.69, but that one's $88 for 45 minutes, and basically I'll just share with what's sharing what you're basically asking, and I'll get really specific with you too. Troy just said your eyes go up when you're remembering something we've all been through. Yeah, I do look up because I feel into people and I just see stuff. And sometimes for me personally, like there was a lady that asked me a question, and when she asked me, I got all her childhood stuff, and I just knew it wasn't appropriate to sort of share it in this thing here. But my heart felt for her, man. I was just like, oh, Papa, I just wanted to hug her. So yeah, I just get stuff, and I don't make it wrong anymore. But yeah, just yeah. So I'll give you the link to do that if you want to come on and yeah, have a sesh with me.
That's awesome. So
thank you though, Lou. Thank you for holding space and cracking open the microphone. I love working with you. I can't wait till you come to the Gold Coast and share your awesomeness here with the peeps over here. Did you see the sun today?
Anyway, thank you, my love. And if you can put the link down here, and we'll send it out to the people, because this, you can only watch the replay here. It's not going out to anybody, because it just kind of feels it was kind of specific for the people that that container. And please let us know when you're doing the next one with the from Canada. So I will. Awesome. Love you, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on, and we will see you later. And what do you say, Patty?
Oh, yes. Get grounded. Stay. What did I say? Be awesome and stay sexy.
Ciao, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.